Okay, so last year, one of my classes at UT offered extra credit if you went and volunteered um, with an underprivileged school in Austin. And I love kids, and I decided that would be something I would like to be a part of. So I was assigned to be a reading coach for 3 young kids at Webb Middle School, and I had to go every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And on my first day, when I went to meet my kids, I realized that I definitely had some very different personalities to deal with, as well as the fact that these kids were all ESL kids, so English is their second language. And my first 2 kids were very loud, troublemaker, sort of class clown types, and they were also quite a bit ahead of other students as far as their reading ability. But my third student, Annie, was very quiet and was also lagging behind other students with her reading abilities. And because of that, she really tried not to participate and was pretty reluctant to, be involved in the activities. When I would ask her questions, the other kids would say things like, "Oh, she doesn't know the answer, don't ask her," and other really mean, hurtful comments that were clearly getting to her and clearly breaking down her self-confidence and making her even more, unwilling to speak up and try to be a part of the activities. So on that day, I really decided to make it my goal to really bring Annie out of her shell and just help her boost her self-confidence in reading and just generally. And I remember one day I was like, "Annie, do you realize how smart you are?" And I told her, I was like, "You are learning your second language and you're only 11." And I said, "I don't know 2 languages. I wish I could speak English and Spanish. That's really, really incredible." And I could tell that the comment made her feel good, and she did start to engage more and more. Um, One day, when she had done particularly well with her reading assignment, I told her I was really proud of her, and I told her that she was improving tremendously. And I remember at the end of that class period, she waited until all of the other students had left. And when we were the only ones left in the room, she gave me a huge hug and had this big smile on her face and said, "Thank you," and then ran off to her next class. And I just remember being teary-eyed, and I'll never forget that moment. And so after that, I just continued, working with her, trying to just boost her self-confidence, make her realize how intelligent she was. And that definitely continued to go well throughout the rest of our time together. And on our final day together, the kids had actually prepared little thank you cards for all their reading coaches. And my first 2 kids gave me, just simple cards that said, "Thank you, Coach Mimi." But Annie gave me this beautiful, ornate card that she'd clearly spent hours decorating. And inside there was a letter, and she told me that she would go home after school every day and practice her reading, and that she would read stories in English to her little brother and little sister. And she just thanked me for helping to teach her to read and making her feel special. And that was a really, really cool moment for me. I just realized that, with some reassurance and helping her understand that I believed in her and her potential, she, exceeded everyone's expectations, including her own. And it was just really cool for me to see that, by giving kids, positive attention, kindness, boosting their self-confidence, they will rise to any occasion and they will really, work their best to achieve everything they possibly can.